What's happening, guys? So, full time, PSV won, Arsenal won Champions League final group stage match with Arsenal and PSV already qualified going into this game. Match reaction, let's get it. So, let's get on to the game. Oh, no, my tablet's overheating. Let's get into the game anyway. It was a game that, for me, exposed that our second team isn't it. You know what I mean? No, there's two of me. Oh, no, there's one of me. Right, I'm back. My tablet overheated. Christ. So I'm gonna have to use my phone. But yeah. As I was saying, where was I? I was saying about how this game exposed basically our second team isn't good enough. Because I said during my match watch along, I said during that these men that are playing that don't usually play, really and truly, you're playing for your place in the FA Cup against Liverpool. Because let's face it, not only are we going to throw that competition away when it comes round, we're also going to make probably as much changes as we made tonight. You know what I mean? But yeah, we were getting cooked in that game. We were getting cooked. You know what I mean? We just were clinical enough. We just weren't good enough. I mean, it's another performance that again we're going to be moaning about. Might mean nothing, but end of the day, if this game meant something, we would have performed the same way. Let's not kid ourselves. We would have performed the same way if it was a game that actually had it all on the line. You know what I mean? Just second team, just not good enough. Just not good enough at all. Now, first half, we had no attempts on target until Nketiah scored his goal. Nobody was doing anything significant. Well, PSV looked the most likely to score in that first half. Saliba made a brilliant tackle, and then I think it was Gabriel that made the ultimate block when Ramsdale was on the floor. After Saliba and the player that was running for the ball pretty much clapped into him. You know what I mean? Like there was another chance that they had, which they were clean through, and again didn't make. And it was us being fortunate that they couldn't put the chances away, even though there were clear chances that they had in that first half. We got our goal, and it was a well-taken goal, and Nketiah's first Champions League goal, by the way. So I'll actually give him a Don DeMarco for that.
Don DeMarco.
It was his first Champions League goal, and yeah, it was one of those where we weren't 1-0 up, but like we weren't playing that good at all. Havertz weren't that good tonight. You know, and Nketiah, obviously he got the goal tonight, but otherwise, when it came to trying to get something done, our forwards were shocking. You know what I mean? Our forwards were shocking. Saliba must have been drinking some bozo juice over the weekend. He must have been drinking some bozo juice when it came to their equaliser. I mean, he made a brilliant tackle in the first half to stop them going 1-0 up. But when that in the second half, the through ball and he went to slide and then he missed it. Ultimately ended up resulting in them equalising in the game. You know what I mean? It's this. If this team wants to win this competition, we have to be much better than that, and we need our second team to be more up to par. I don't think Kiwior was terrible tonight, but he was getting cooked a little bit, just a little bit, like especially towards the back end of the game. He was getting too bit of cookage. You know what I mean? But like this performance, I've been saying it all season, ain't sustainable, and he's going to catch up to us. Just like last season, it weren't sustainable the amount of goals we were conceding, and the warning signs were there. And then when push came to shove, when it came down to it, we paid the ultimate price. You know what I mean? And I'm looking at this season, I'm thinking it looks like the same thing might happen again. Pull out stinky performances, and ultimately it costs us. Now, second half, we scored what looked like to be the winner. Free kick from Odegaard, and it was headed in. Now, they gave offside, but Gabriel wasn't the one that touched it, even though he was offside. And he went for the ball, but he wasn't the one who headed the ball in. It was actually Kiwior that headed the ball in. So I don't get how VAR can look at that and still say, no, offside. You know what I mean? Because it just seemed to me like they just glazed over the fact that Kiwior was the one that headed it in, and they just looked for offside. When Gabriel was the only one that was offside. You know what I mean? So if they're going to give offside because he went for the ball, what, how is... So are they going to try and say the keeper didn't know who was going to header it in? Then that's probably the best I can come with as to why they gave that goal, that chopped that goal off. You know what I mean? For the position that both Gabriel and Kiwior were in, the ball was pretty much going to go in the same direction. You know what I mean? If Gabriel headed it, it was going in. If Kiwior was the one that headed it, it went in. You know what I mean? So to give offside and it was Kiwior that headed it in, this is the inconsistencies with VAR. Yet they want to clamp down on players making football bets when these men are doing it in the back rooms. You know what I mean? Who's to say one of them in the back rooms uncles didn't have a bet on for 1-1 for this game? You know what I mean? You want to cry about football players making bets. Yet these men are in the back rooms making bets on their teams. Let's not tap around now. Let's not piss around. These men are doing the same thing. And I said this before. But again, as I keep saying, robbery wouldn't seem so bad if we were stinking out games to begin with. You know what I mean? And I said in my match preview, even if we make these changes and play these players, still good enough to beat them. Ramsdale tonight didn't really put a foot wrong. I mean, we could say maybe he should have saved the shot. It was a well taken shot because the shot was it bent round. You know what I mean? It curved. You know what I mean? If that was if that ball didn't curve, it's going wide, but it curved and hit the post and went in. So we can all say that maybe Raya would have saved it, maybe not, whatever. But Ramsdale did make a good save in that first half as well from a header from one of their players. So it was a good save. The chance that they had in the second half, because Rice came on and played as a centre back, came on for Saliba, played as centre back. Player took a shot, came off Rice's toe in Rice's attempt to block it, and it beat Ramsdale at the near post. You know what I mean? So if that went in, any near post goal is shocking for a goalkeeper anyway. And if that had went in, it wouldn't have looked good for Ramsdale. But otherwise, I didn't see any goofiness from him tonight. But yeah, I'm not satisfied with what I've seen. But We're in the knockouts. Road to Wembley starts next year, and hopefully we're going to be much better than this going into the knockouts, because this performance is our performances away from home in the Champions League has not been great. You know what I mean? It's not been great. Sevilla wasn't great, but we won. Lens wasn't great, we lost. Tonight wasn't great, and we drew. You know what I mean? But our home form in the Champions League, clean sheets so far. You know what I mean? Nothing but clean sheets, wins and clean sheets. So I'm just hoping that when it comes down to it, that this goofiness that we're on of down tooling, we need to get out of that. Havertz in this game, I'm saying him on watch along. His passing is suspect. It's almost like he feels if he hits the ball any harder, it's going to go out of the field. He made such a paceless pass. It's unreal. It's like he went back to his usual self that we were all crying about in this game, in all fairness. You know what I mean? And that's what's going to cost us on counter-attacks, because there was times in that game we were going on counter-attacks and he slowed it down. Nelson looked like he tried to make something happen in that game more than anything. He got an assist. You know what I mean? But he was the one that came off for Jesus to then come on. And I was saying that, notice how when we're all crying about Saka, right, being overplayed, why don't you just take him off, blah, 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 and he doesn't do it. But Nelson, who rarely gets minutes anyway, you could at least have given him 90 in this game, but you took him off. You know what I mean? We had a chance right at the end, last kick of the game, pretty much. Trossard had a chance. The keeper saved it. Trossard, left foot shot, straight at the keeper, then Kiwior went to kicked it, and he went over. You just think to yourself, what if Odegaard was there instead? You know what I mean? I thought it was Odegaard at first, but you know, it would have been another late goal after stinking it out. Maybe those are drying up now. Maybe the Luton game has took the energy out of us. I don't know. But anyway, this is not sustainable. It's not. It's really not. But I'm not gonna dwell too much on this particular game, because I know that ultimately we got what we needed before this game even started. You know what I mean? So onwards and upwards. We've got Brighton next at the Emirates, 2:00 kickoff on Sunday, and Brighton is our bogey team at the Emirates, believe it or not. So anyways, that's it for this video. That's it for the match reaction. I'll see you guys in the next one. Follow the socials, links are in the description below. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. I'm like 2 off 500 subs. You know, might not be a lot to some people, but you know, it'll be another milestone to get to. So yeah. Anyways, I'll catch you guys in a bit. Peace.